Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99, how you doing? It is the evening of March the 8th, 2018, and as promised, I've got Brian Hopkins, Chairman and Acting CEO of VooGlue, and I've done a few videos on VooGlue, and what caught my attention is that it's about artwork and an artwork revolution. And in some of the videos I did, my wife is an artist, all our children are creative, my mother-in-law is an artist. I've been around artists a lot of my life. So Brian, I'm excited about your project and thanks for coming on this evening.
Oh, thanks very much, John. Yeah, we're really fired up. It's been a heck of a wild ride. It's a really, really exciting journey.
Yeah, we talked on the pre-interview and I thought that that would be an interesting place to start. Tell everybody what you told me in the pre-interview about how you grew up as a young boy in the bush and how that morphed into kind of where we're at right now with VooGlue.
Sure, John. So I grew up on a farm in the wheat belt of Western Australia, and it was a fairly isolated place. There was no TV. There was a crackly old radio, and so I spent my time drawing and painting. So I learnt to paint as a boy, self-taught, and I've painted and done art for the rest of my life, on and off. But that hasn't been the main part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
The main part of my life has been in business because when I was in my early 20s, I got the business bug, and so I've been in business for the last 25 years.
Mm.
And so art has very much taken a second place in my life, and I've been busy building businesses. So, but life throws curveballs at us, doesn't it? And
Mm-hmm.
I got very ill a few years ago, and I couldn't work for quite a time. And as I recovered, I started to paint again, and I started to develop that side. As I got stronger, I did more. And I had my exhibition of those artworks in, I think it was 2014. And at that exhibition, I had been recording the speed paintings. And at the exhibition, I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if someone could just point their phone at one of these artworks and see the speed painting? And some of those works were sold to government ministers and high net worth
Sure.
individuals in Perth, and they were all really fired up because I had the speed paintings there they could see on
Mm-hmm.
their phones. And so then from there, I engaged some developers, and we created the fingerprinting software, and so and the rest is history. So it's been about 2 years in development. A little bit more than 2 years actually. It's closer to 4 really, but it's sort of more vibrant in the last 2 years. And the team has done this fantastic job with the software and a fantastic job with the business, and brought it all into reality. So the idea came from my time really right back to when I was a boy as in the art world, but then that's been sort of mushed together with myself as a businessman.
You
So
bet.
I'm firstly in business and secondly in art.
So where do we stand, not literally today, but I'll use that because I can't think of another word. Where do we stand today as far as the team, the ICO, the roadmap, where you guys are going, what you want to accomplish, or
Yeah,
none of the
so so
above?
so the business is ready for commercialisation, and the ICO is a mechanism for using the technology to augment, to help the art industry. So it's an enabler for the art industry. So this thing that I created and invented, and it's been patented as well, so it's an invention. This fingerprinting and viewing of the artwork on your phone ends up being a way that art galleries and artists and everyone in the art industry can access, can bring their art from kind of the dusty 19th to 18th century
Mm-hmm.
into the 21st century, because it connects these physical items to the digital world through the person's phone, and then it opens the whole experience up to younger people, because younger people often just walk past art galleries and art, but now they're interested, they're engaged, and looking at the videos and looking at the content. Plus, it allows people to purchase the artworks from within their phone. So it transforms all of those elements and brings historical art streaming into the 21st century. And so art galleries, art museums, artists can all use this technology. And in fact, anybody that's ever bought or a piece of art or looked at a piece of art is someone who will use the app.
Sure.
So it's very, very broad in its base. And that's one reason why people are so excited about it, because it's not just in the sort of the technology space. It's not just a narrow sort of crypto business.
Right.
It is this broad-based opportunity and enabler, and so it's an enabler so galleries and artists and everybody can use it to help their existing businesses. So that's why we, expect very, very good take-up with it, and that's why everyone's so excited.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hold up the white paper here, because everybody that follows me knows that every time I do an interview, several days before I've got some education in my background, and not, a PhD in counseling, and I love reading, I love doing research, and these white papers, I feel like I'm back in graduate school. And even though maybe the video, everybody, that I'm doing with Brian, maybe 15 or 20 minutes long, you got to read the white paper to really appreciate Brian and his skill set and the team and where this idea is going. So, Brian, I know the answer to this, but I want you to tell everybody in your own words. So I don't have to be an artist in order to invest in the ICO, correct?
Correct. Absolutely. It's so the people that are investing in the ICO are crypto investors, because they like the concept and like the broadening aspect of it, and it's a real business. With real events, real people. It's not just an idea in a white paper. It's actually a real business. So crypto investors are loving it. Anybody in the art sector is loving it. Now, the people in the art sector aren't necessarily crypto investors. Mm-hmm. So actually, they go on a little bit of a journey when they come to invest, because they've got to work out how to get their Ethereum wallet and this sort of thing. But they're doing it. They're coming in. So artists, galleries, museums, and art students are all right there in the bullseye of people that can use it. But then anybody who's ever had any interest in art, it's a great opportunity to get in at the ICO, because you're getting these tokens at such, because the pre-launch, the tokens are being offered at a discount, so or a bonus actually. You get a bonus on during the pre-launch. So those tokens then can be used later at the end of the ICO, either to be traded on an exchange or to be used to purchase art. And so then when you've got high value art items that you've purchased the tokens and you've had some increase in value of the token, the artwork becomes comparatively cheaper. And art is a fantastic investment. It's a secure investment that is appreciated better than the S&P 500 over a long, I'm not sure the time frame, but our journalist wrote a great article on Medium about how art is such a fantastic investment over the long term. So it's secure. So in some ways, it's the other end of the world to cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency is very volatile, it's very secure. So there's opportunities for everybody, and we've got a very broad base of people that are buying the tokens.
Sure. Okay, that's great, Brian. Where does everything stand as far as the phone app? Is that still like in like the testing stage, or can people download that, or is that something that people can look at, today, tomorrow? Like, how do they get a hold of that if it's available?
So the phone app is we have a prototype web app. So So when the pre-launch event, people watch the video at the pre-launch event, they can see other people using the phone app at that pre-launch event to watch the videos and look at the paintings, and you see how much fun they're all having with it. Now, the part of the reason for the ICO is for obviously development of the business, but then the fully developed phone app will be released straight after the end of the ICO. So that's when people will be able to download it and use it straight at the end of the ICO. The full phone app's not available now; it's in development.
Sure. Okay. Next question that we did not talk about in the pre-interview, so I'm not trying to back you in a corner, but so we got the phone app going, and then kind of lay some vision for us for maybe 2018 or 2019 about the roadmap and where you want to go and stuff like that.
So right now we've got a business, okay? So there's a few projects on the go I'm obviously in Perth, and there's a fairly vibrant street art scene here, and there's also a very vibrant Aboriginal art scene in Australia. Now, so there's a couple of elements of those that are particularly pertinent in this business. In the street art, people can use the existing platform and existing web app to point at a piece of street art and play the video of the street artist creating that street art and the music behind it. And so we're working on a project here in Perth to connect up a whole lot of the street art around the city with VooGlue, so people can go on a street art tour and watch all of the videos of all that street art being produced as they go around the tour. And then inside the app, they'll also be able to buy the T-shirt with the street art on them and various other products on the tour. So that's in train at the moment and it's being discussed at a strategic level, and we're going through, and hopefully we'll have that implemented within a couple of months. The second thing is Aboriginal art. Now, you may not know, but there's a lot of counterfeiting of Aboriginal art. The really important part, you know what I'm talking about,
yes,
right?
Sir.
The Aboriginal art, the dot paintings,
yes,
the
sir.
kangaroos and the campfires and those sorts of things. So, but the important thing behind Aboriginal art is the authenticity of the art. And so there's quite a challenge to authenticate art. And the other important element is the story behind Aboriginal art, because those dot paintings, they've got a lot of the dream time and the culture of Indigenous people inside those paintings. So the VooGlue app has an opportunity to both fingerprint those artworks and connect immediately the viewer to the story by the way of the video of the artist creating the artworks. So that's another interesting on-the-ground business opportunity that we're pursuing here in Australia. So then let's talk globally. Let's take it to the big picture. At the end of the ICO, right, we've got then a war chest of funds to go out and market this globally. So we'll be going around to, targeting OECD countries over the first 3 years. We've got a rollout plan on integrating the VooGlue into galleries and museums in countries in the OECD over a period of 2 years. So we'll be doing that and getting people using the VooGlue app to connect to the artworks in their museums, getting artists on board with their artworks to use it, and getting people using the app and the token. So then, so that's the rollout plan over about 2 years, and we expect to get pretty rapid penetration over the 2 years, and then in the third year, we're just going to work on penetration. We should be across all the OECD countries within the 2 years, and then in the third year, we'll just work on penetrating, getting greater market share, getting more people to use the token to purchase their artworks. And so that's the rollout plan we've got ahead of us. It's a very clear strategy that we've got to roll it out, and it's pretty well all ready to go. in terms of the business and
Sure.
the business plan and the flow and the liquidity. So once we're at the end of the ICO, we'll then have the app that people can download, and it's going to be pressing the big red button from then.
Well, I tell everybody on my channel, not every video that I do, because every video is not an interview, but just listening to you, Brian, it's an honor because it's like I'm living my dream, interviewing people like you. And again, you're probably, I'm a humble man, but just with your background and skill set, and I'm going, what am I doing interviewing these people? They are, it's just an honor to do that, just your skill set and even your, I wanted to do this at the beginning, but on page 14 of your white paper, it says you've got over 25 years of international business experience ranging from initiating and growing startups to senior roles in large corporations, government and corporate board appointments. And just from talking to people like you, there's so much work and effort and passion that goes into these ICOs and the project. My hat is off to you and the team. Speaking of the team, in the interview that we had before we started to record, tell us a little bit about the team and how you've been working together, and just kind of tell us a little bit about that, if you wouldn't mind, Brian.
Sure, John. So it's the team that has made this happen. So in the white paper, you see some members there. I think there's 4 in that list. They've been with the business for about 2 years. They're the people that put together the technology, the fingerprinting app, the website that runs it, and the systems administrators that make sure that it's all secure and working and vibrant. So, just excuse me. So then, and of course we live in the digital age now, so companies have changed. I mean, for the last 25 years I've been in business. 25 years ago you had to have an office and people coming to work every day and all the rest of it. We don't need to do that anymore. So we've got a global team. We've got 2 people in the Philippines. I think we've got 4 team members in India. We've got some team members in Slovenia, in Greece, in Belgrade, and we've got a team member here in Perth as well. So we're spread right around the world. That's really good for coverage. On
Sure.
the website, when people go to buy a token, they'll get a pop-up with a support person there to help them if they have any problems. And so our team, we rotate around the world to keep that support going. And there's a lot of work going on in social media, and a lot of work going on in the development space as well. Really, really good team. So they're very, very close. Whenever I've been in business, I've always had a really close, motivated, dedicated, hard-working team, and this team is the same. They are just fantastic. Really, really good. You talk about the CEO and what we do. It really is having highly skilled people in the team that can bring things home. Yeah. I mean, CEO is important in terms of providing sort of a central point for that, but it's the team that does it, and we've got a fantastic team. So is there any other question you've got about that? Because they're a really good group.
Well, I was just going to say, other than you, and I was 60 years old in January, most of the people that I interview are in their 20s and 30s, and I say to them, I could be your dad. You're like my children. And I'm looking at, the white paper, and again, my heart just goes out to all these hard workers that, again, my brain doesn't think like that, but so I just kind of honor you for, taking, your skill set and just taking this team from the 4 corners of the world and having everything mesh together. And I mean that sincerely. Is there anything, we're kind of winding down a little bit, is there anything maybe about the ICO that maybe you want to get in to talk about to the viewers?
Well, we're in the final 2 weeks of the pre-launch, so this is the time to get in for the big bonus. There's still an 80% bonus for the next. The pre-launch ends on the 20th of March. Now, overnight, that bonus will drop down to 20%. So there's a 40% reduction in the straight away on
Sure.
midnight GMT on the 20th. So the important thing is to get in now while they're. I just have to.
No, that's fine.
The important thing is to get in now whilst whilst that bonus is available. And then obviously on the midnight and the 20th, all the people that hold tokens now get the sort of notional 40% increase in value, because that's going to be the token. The token increases in value by 40% on the 21st. So that's the important thing for people to know.
Sure.
The second thing is we send out a survey to everybody after they register, and people were coming back saying that the dashboard was a little bit hard to use. So we've just implemented a brand new dashboard, and that's on VooGlue.io. You click on Get Token.
Yes.
That'll take you to a registration screen to a brand new dashboard. Now, in there is a referral program. It'll be a pop-up that people see. And so when people use that referral program, anyone they refer to will get a little bonus extra just because they've referred them. So it gives a bonus to the person that's received the referral.
Yes, sir.
The individual will get a little bonus as well, but the person they receive will get a bonus too. So that's only just been introduced, and that's another great way for people to be able to share the love. So then we've got a 3-month program from the 20th of March. We've got 3 months of the main sale to go, and there's a lot of opportunity for those referrals to build and grow during that time for people, so that they can get a bit of benefit at the end, because they'll get their bonuses right at the end.
Sure.
Then once the ICO is concluded, we'll be straight into business and rolling this out, and we're looking forward to the people that participate in the ICO, really looking forward to them getting a massive amount of value out of it at the end. I've been in business for a long time. It's all about the customer. It's all about how people, the benefit that it brings to people. So that's where we're going with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, we'll end with this, and for those that follow my channel, I always end with the same interview question. So, Brian, I'll give you my last interview question. So, is there anything that maybe you talked about a little bit that you forgot to expand on, or is there anything that's maybe floating through your mind right now that you're like, oh, I want to say one more thing about the team or me or the ICO or the roadmap, so you can have the last word with whatever you'd like to say, please.
What does VooGlue mean? Now, what does VooGlue mean, hey? What is this? What is this word? What's it all about? What does it mean? Well, it's a mush of voodoo and glue. Now, the voodoo, as you know, is the kind of like bit of a sort of Caribbean religion of sticking pins in a dolls. But actually, the whole idea there is magic. This is the magic that glues art to video, right? So there's the magic and the glue. But there's a second very powerful meaning here. So you might not know, and there's a great article about this on Medium, that the voodoo it was a cultural phenomenon that went way back in the dark days of Africa. Well, when I say dark days, a long, long time ago.
Sure.
in Africa. And the slave traders and other people that went into Africa, that they did their utmost to crush this indigenous idea, this indigenous sort of religion, and but it survived. It survived through thick and thin, and it's sort of transformed and reformed, and it still survived. And it's actually a testament to how an idea can grow and survive through all sorts of challenges and come to fruition. And the VooGlue business kind of reflects that, because it grew out of my life story, and it's got its own life story to go. So the name VooGlue is a very, very powerful little word, because it both means the connection of art to video and e-commerce transactions to art, and this transform from the dusty 18th century to the modern world. And it also harmonises with the idea of the voodoo cultural phenomenon and its survival through history.
Wow, Brian, that's great. Thank you. So everybody, I'm going to put the links below, all the important links that you're going to need. And Brian, again, thanks for taking time out of your schedule. I really appreciate it, and we'll definitely have you back for a second interview. Okay.
Fantastic.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
See you later, John.